and welcome to a very festive edition of Everything EFL. This is technically our third Christmas episode because if you go way back to episodes 5 and 6, we actually did a couple of Christmas episodes. Although having said that, I did try and change the music on episode 5 today, Sinead, and I accidentally deleted it. So I sent a really panicked voice message to Shane going, help! So check it out or not, I don't know yet. You know, we'll just see. Yeah, how are you, Sinead? Welcome back.
Thanks. Yeah, not too bad. Getting a bit stressed, but I'm looking forward to the Christmas break, to be honest.
Good.
How about you?
Good. Oh yeah, I'm on a permanent break at the moment, but I'm really looking forward to Christmas. So should we do a little Christmas cheers? Little Christmas cheers. Yeah. Cheers. What are you drinking? What are you drinking?
Good old gin.
Oh, nice.
Oh, you look like you've got mulled wine.
I do. It's flipping delicious. I do love. I don't drink as a rule, but I do love a mulled wine, I have to say.
So
it's a cheeky number, that one. All right then. Okay, so if anybody doesn't know Sinead, this is Sinead McMorrow. She came, when did you, was it episode 35? You did pronunciation with me, didn't you? Episode 35, yeah.
Yeah.
And she was so spectacularly good, I invited her back for Christmas. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go through loads of different Christmas activities, all ages, all levels. And hopefully there's something that you might like. I also, Sinead, would you like to go first? What's your first Christmas activity?
Okay, so all of my ideas come from websites. I have no creativity. After years of teaching, I've used it all up. But this one comes from a really nice website called englishasapieceofcake.com. And it's got really nice resources for very high levels. But, you know, anything from kind of B1 up is catered for. And this one I think you could even use with, B1 up, I would say. It's an infographic and it's called Christmas by the Numbers. So you could, of course, just take the infographic and use it the way you want. But very kindly on this website, they have created a worksheet where they've removed some of the numbers. So it's quite nice because some of the numbers are there and some of them aren't. So you give this out to students or show it to them in some way and they get thinking. So what are these missing numbers? So for example, I can see these are all in America, by the way. So 74% of Americans go to parties. What percent of Americans do you think exchange gifts?
I'd say 96.
Really?
Actually, no. We think there's a lot of different denominations. 82.
Oh, you were closer the first time. It's actually 93%.
Okay, interesting. Oh, that's nice. So what's the aim of that activity? For question forms?
Yeah, and also because there's lots of different numbers, it's actually really helpful for teaching different ways of talking about numbers, like percentages, big numbers like millions, thousands, dollars, different types of money. So it's really good for that kind of vocabulary. And then just like speculating and sharing ideas, you know, I think it's this. What do you think?
Okay, brilliant. So we can share that infographic when I post the website on Instagram and Facebook, and everyone can see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Brilliant. That sounds fantastic. Yeah, a little bit different, but lots of facts as well, because I think students retain information as well, don't they, if they're learning new facts?
Yeah, and also I think it's good, like not everybody is really into Christmas. I mean, I am, but you know, some people don't really want all of that jazzy stuff. And so this gives them something that's topical, but actually also real and possibly interesting from an economic point of view or from a historical point of view as well. So
fabulous. And that would be good for like there's a lot of students in America who are in mainstream schools. English isn't their first language, but they would have the level to do this as well, because you said it was for high levels. So this could work in like an actual school.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Brilliant.
And what I like to do afterwards as well is think like, you know, this is what it's like in America. What do you think it's like here in Italy? What do you think it's like in the UK? And they can go and research and find out information about wherever they want.
Oh, it's never ending. It's the gift that keeps on giving, quite literally.
Absolutely. Okay, what about you?
Okay, so this is a very kind of basic idea. It's nothing like groundbreaking, but I think you can get a lot out of it depending on how you want to do it. So you could start just with some very basic conversation cards put up around the wall, or however you want to do it. What are you doing for Christmas? What are you expecting to get? depending on what country you're in, do you celebrate Christmas? What do you know about Christmas? Blah, 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 blah. But if you have an international class, I don't think it matters if not everybody celebrates Christmas, because if you get students who don't, then you could put them in a group with a couple of students who do, but make sure those students are a different nationality. So we're going to demonstrate now. You are in...
I'm in Palermo in Italy.
Okay, and I am in Dublin in Ireland. So I'm going to imagine there are quite a few differences. So you could prompt some questions and it could go something like this. So what is the important day for Italians? Is it the 24th or the 25th?
That's a really good question. I think it's
How long have you been living there?
25th. No, it's really weird. It's more like family based. It's all family based. But everybody seems to have their own kind of traditions, and even from region to region that will change. So the way my husband's family celebrates Christmas, it's Christmas Eve is just us, the immediate family, and then Christmas Day will be like the extended family for a big lunch.
Okay.
So they're kind of both important in a way, yeah.
Okay, and then I would say that in Ireland, the big day is on the 25th, where the family comes round, and possibly again for St. Stephen's Day, same kind of thing. And then you could have more prompts about, do you go to church? What games do you play? What kind of presents do you receive? And you could just, what's similar, what's different. And then, they could report back to other students about what they learn about other nationalities. So it's very good for finding common ground, celebrating differences, learning. And it's all completely student-based.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yep, you can
do
a
lot
them
with to think of their own couple of questions to add on as well.
Absolutely, absolutely, especially with the higher levels. The less work you do as a teacher, the better. That's what I say. Okay, How about you? Another one?
Okay, so this is actually from the same website that I mentioned before, englishisapieceofcake.com. And this activity, it's actually taken from the Martha Stewart website. So there's a template for making a snowflake. So you can print that off, and students then use that template to, they fold up a bit of paper and use the template to cut out this shape, and then they open it up and they've got a beautiful snowflake. But where's the language, you might ask? Well, only half of the students are making snowflakes at any one time. The other half are giving them the directions. So again, I like this because it's quite clear. There's vocabulary matching task at the start, and you've got all these words like right angle, bisect, perpendicular, intersect, diamond, all these lovely words, and you've got to match them to their definitions.
It's a mathematician's dream.
Oh, it's wonderful. And then the students have to use those words to give instructions on how to make this snowflake, because it's very geometrical, fold your page at a right angle, or cut this line at a right angle to the other line. And they've got also some useful phrases for giving instructions. So things like, before you begin, you should do this. After that, the next thing you do is, and then you've also got some nice phrases for the person making the snowflake, asking for clarity. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you repeat that, please? There's lots of really nice natural communication.
Lovely. Oh, that's so nice. And I imagine great fun as well. Great fun.
It's good fun. And I like this for online, because obviously you don't want them to see each other. Like, if I'm making the snowflake, I shouldn't see the instructions. So it's much easier kind of to do that online. Somebody can just be telling me something, and I've just kind of got to work away and try to make this shape. And they can make their own templates as well, so they're not all saying the same thing.
Brilliant.
So lots of fun to be had. And then you can decorate your classroom or decorate your house with your snowflakes.
Oh, pretty. Yeah, I love that. That's brilliant. That sounds like really good fun. Love that one.
And adaptable to different levels. Obviously, I talked about the CLIL language, but you could really easily do that with low levels as well, I think.
Yeah, just
feeding in more basic language.
Yeah, lovely. Okay. So my next idea, again, nothing groundbreaking, but a good old Christmas quiz. Now, you can do this in so many different ways. You could do the Kahoot, but I think maybe a table quiz would be a little bit nicer. Obviously, if you're online, breakout rooms, something like that. You could have the questions on PowerPoint or whatever. And again, it could be, if you're based in a country like Ireland or the USA, the questions could be exclusively about that, Or you could have questions about Christmas in lots of different countries. Like, for example, did you know, this is what I learned, we have a lot of Japanese students, and it's tradition now, through clever marketing, I assume, that most or a lot of families have KFC on Christmas Eve. So the question could be, which nationality has KFC on Christmas Eve, you know?
Oh,
And it's
now I
just
want
like,
KFC.
ooh. Another quiz is who wants to be a millionaire, and I'm going to attach a couple of templates that I found online. You can there's loads of templates online. You could inject or insert your own questions. And if you're in class, obviously this aspect would be easier. I've done this before, and I've gone from small prizes to bigger prizes. So you split the class up into two, and the first question is like, okay, for a biscuit. And the next one is for a packet of crisps, you know,
Nice,
for
yeah.
a bag of chocolate money, and the prizes get a little bit bigger and bigger and bigger. And then the winning team usually shares their booty anyway, so everybody's a winner. But it's everybody knows millionaire, and it's just Christmas. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it's just a slightly different twist on just a quiz if you don't want to do a Kahoot or a table quiz.
Absolutely.
That's the thing.
Okay, another activity I like, so again, it's from another website called, this one is called All at Sea, letter C, not the sea, ocean sea. And there's these two guys, Steve and Tom. They have been teaching for years and training, and they've created this really nice website. And every Christmas, they put up a really detailed lesson plan based on the John Lewis advert. Oh, always heart melting.
You just want to explain to our international listeners what that is.
So, well, it's just that it's what modern Christmas is, no? John Lewis is this massive department store in the UK, and every Christmas they have a really, really, really emotional advertisement, but like obviously trying to sell gifts, but also encouraging the spirit of Christmas and kindness and inclusivity, and including everyone in Christmas and caring about everybody and making sure everybody feels special on that special day. So it's always really nice, and there's always a really nice song, a kind of classic tune from maybe from the 1980s or the 1990s to accompany the video. It's really, really, really nice. Google John Lewis ads and you'll fall into a rabbit hole. So these lesson plans are really great because they will exploit everything. They will exploit the video, they'll exploit the song that's used. But there's one activity in particular that I really liked from 2 years ago. And it's a speaking task. So you're given this situation, it's Christmas morning. You've just had a phone call from a friend. They were supposed to be flying home for Christmas and it's all gone horribly wrong. The flight's cancelled, they've nowhere to go, they don't know what to do. And you being a good friend, of course, you say, oh, come to my house. There's always room for one more. But you're really happy your friend's going to be there, but you're thinking, but what's he or she going to do when we're all sitting around opening our gifts and they have nothing, and that's not really nice. So you think, right, I'll go out and find a last minute gift. So you go out to the 24-hour shop, but you find that there's only 5 things left on the shelf. These 5 things are, sorry, this makes me laugh every time. There's a selfie toaster.
Right.
Have you ever seen one of those?
No.
It's a real thing. There's a book called Knitting with Dog Hair. Yep. Better a sweater from a dog that you know and love than from a sheep you'll never meet.
Well, there is always that.
There's a cat. Yeah. There's a cat toilet training kit.
Right. I can see that going down well.
An air-conditioned shirt, like self-air conditioned, and power jumping stilts. Ooh. So these are the 5 things. So what you do is you break the students into groups. You give each group one gift, and they've got to think of reasons why this is the best gift for the friend. So even though it's like a really, really bad gift, they've got to think of advantages to this gift. Why is this good for your friend? You give them a bit of time for that. You mingle, what you like, monitor, go around, make sure they've got the language they need, help them out. And then after, say, about 10 minutes, you regroup them so that you've got one person to represent each gift. So there'll be 5 people in a group. They've got to quickly present their reasons. They've got about a minute each. Once they've all presented their reasons why their gift is the best, they've all got to come to an agreement. So then they have to like convince each other and try to come to a decision. And this is really similar to the first certificate speaking task, part 3, where you have this collaborative task and you've got to come to a decision together. So it's really, really nice. But I think, again, it could be a really nice conversation class in any group. Yeah. And again, probably adaptable to kind of pre-intermediate level as well, I reckon.
Yeah, I'd say if they're supported and scaffolded with a bit of pre-taught language, maybe from the week before or the day before, definitely.
Yeah,
I like
use
that.
Different gifts. It's really fun. I've had fun with that.
That's nice, and it's just a little bit off tangent. It's a bit different, like as well, which is kind of you're doing some more original things, and I'm doing some old classics. So it's a good mix of an episode, this one. Speaking of old classics, my next idea is based around vocabulary cards, which, like, if anyone knows me, this is the basis of my teaching methodology, is bits of paper and bits of card. So I would always have a stack of vocabulary cards with Christmas words, but make sure they have the pictures on, like tinsel, Christmas tree, the word, the picture. So for low levels, you can just do a good old-fashioned Pictionary. For mid-levels, or maybe for higher levels, you could have them in teams, and they could take a card, guess, they have to describe the word, give a definition, and the team have to guess what it is. Or like guess what I am, where they actually have to say, I am green and tall, I sit in the living room and people put balls on me, or something like that. Oh, it's a Christmas tree. So you've got like one stack of cards, but you can use them for any level, basically. So nice and easy. And if you take care of them, you can use them every year.
Laminate them.
Yes. Oh, didn't you used to love laminating things back in the day?
So environmentally unfriendly, but love a laminate. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any more?
Well, that actually, using those kind of flashcards would work really well with this song that I know called When Santa Got Stuck Up the Chimney.
Okay, tell me more. I don't know this one.
It's a really fun kids Christmas song, but you could really adapt it for low levels. It's very repetitive, and there's some nice language in it. Like he says, "My nose is tickling." So that's, something useful. There's soot in my sack, so you get to teach them soot. So you've got all these nice words that you can pre-teach, and again, very visual, so you can use your flashcards. And you can add some gestures as well, because obviously if his nose is tickling, what do you think he's going to do? Achoo, he sneezes. So you can kind of get it kind of what's it called, TBL as well, not TBL, TPR. That's getting my acronyms mixed up. Yeah, get them moving and doing actions when they listen to the song, and get them singing along. As I said, the repetition really helps them to get those new words, and the pronunciation that we were saying before. It's really good for their pronunciation as well. They're linking all these words together.
Oh, nice.
Getting all the sounds right. So
lovely.
It's fun.
Talking of repetition, I would say for lower levels, the 12 Days of Christmas would be quite nice. Even for high levels though, because once the song gets going, you've got 12 lords are leaping, 12 maids are milking, and you've got to keep up with the speed of the song. So even though it's kind of repetitive on the first day of Christmas, my true love sent home here, you've really got to keep up with the song. So I think that's a nice one.
I had kids perform that for Christmas, for their parents one Christmas, when I think it was my first year here in Palermo. God bless. They were lovely. It went really well on the day actually, but preparing for it was challenging.
Now for kids, there's lots of versions of this on YouTube. You may have to hunt for a slightly more mature version if you're using it with older learners or teenage learners, so it's not too patronizing, but I'm sure you'll find something. YouTube's just full of stuff in it.
Absolutely.
So did you mention something about a donkey?
Yeah, again, I don't have any particular activities for this, but it's just the same kind of thing. Pick out the vocab, do a bit of work on the pre-teaching.
What's the name of the song first?
get the activities in. It's called Dominic the Donkey, the Christmas Donkey. Well, it's just called Dominic the Donkey, but it's Dominic the Christmas Donkey.
Okay.
And there's a lot of ee-awing in it. So again, it's quite fun to sing along. I'll let you look that up later.
We'll stick a link up on the show notes, guys. Everything we mentioned will be on the show notes. And also, if you go to Instagram or Facebook, when I post the link to this episode, you'll see everything there. Okay.
I think also it's interesting just to get people talking about as well, you know, well, why is Santa so important at Christmas? Why is a donkey important at Christmas? And kind of thinking about the symbolism behind it as well.
Yes, where does the donkey come in? Yes, good one. Did you ever sing Little Donkey when you were at school? Was that an Irish? Yeah. Oh, that was my favourite. I used to love that.
When I played the coconuts for the donkey hooves.
Lucky you, we never got any coconuts. Nice. Okay. Laurie Myers, also known as Saucebox on Instagram, she recommended Merry Christmas Everyone by Shakin' Stevens, who is a bit of a legend from the early 80s in the UK and Ireland.
Massively. And in Macedonia, by the way.
How random. It's like David Hasselhoff in East Germany, isn't it? It's just so random. I used to love Shaky when I was a kid. So what Laurie suggests is that it's quite repetitive. So what students can do is stand up every time they hear certain words or phrases. You could even split the class into like 2 or 3 groups. So if one group, when you hear this phrase, stand up. The next group, when you hear this phrase, stand up. Next group, when you hear this phrase, stand up. And maybe do a wave or something, do a dance or something like that. So I think that's a great idea for younger learners or for lower levels. Thank you, Laurie.
Or for Christmas parties, as was mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds great fun. Yeah, absolutely. And it was also Laurie's idea to use Last Christmas.
Classic.
Which I mean, beautiful Christmas song. And I'd never noticed before, but there are actually lots of these metaphors with body parts in the song. So like, I gave you my heart, a shoulder to cry on,
Once
to catch
bitten,
my eye.
Yeah, twice shy.
Once bitten, twice shy.
Yeah.
Not body, but still nice idioms there, yeah.
You still catch my eye.
Yeah. Lots of really juicy and like language that we use, you know.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, nice one,
notice
Laurie.
those phrases.
Yeah, so it kind of goes on a bit of a non-Christmassy tangent, but you're still looking at some really nice language there. So thank you, Laurie. That's a great suggestion. And then we also have Mary Beth, who is under Irish Dance Dublin. So if you're into Irish dancing, guys, look her up on Instagram. She suggested a famous song called Baby It's Cold Outside. Now, the thing with this song is, do you know this one?
This is one of my favorite Christmas songs.
Brilliant. Okay, so you'll love this. So she suggests that you separate the characters' lyrics. So you could, for example, use Christmassy colors. You could put the lyrics from one character on red paper and the lyrics from the other character on green paper, cut them up, and then you have to listen and order them. And then maybe you could get like one half of the class and the other half of the class to sing it or something like that. Do you like that?
Yeah, fun. Yeah. It's, you know, the lady's trying to leave and the man is trying to convince her to stay. Oh, but it's cold outside. Yeah.
I see.
Nice. You can reverse the roles as well, though. I mean, that's the nice thing about that song. And singers have done that, or like mess around with the kind of gender fluidity and stuff. So you can kind of have a laugh with it if you know your students really well and can play around with that kind of thing. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you want to stay away from gender roles, then just call them characters. They're 2 characters. This character 1, character 2.
Or change it up, you know, make it not a romantic situation, but that's actually really fun. Do you ever do that with songs? Again, for pronunciation. So they're not singing the song, but they've got to say the lyrics. In the like intonation that person would say to, like, what would the mother say to the child, or what would the teacher say to the student, or what would the doctor say to the patient, you know. It's cold outside. They'd say it in different ways.
And that's brilliant.
So, it can be quite fun as well.
Oh, I love that. That's really nice. You could do that with a lot of songs, couldn't you?
Oh, lots of them.
Love it.
Practically anything.
Love it. Okay. I think our job is done here.
I think, yeah.
Look, guys, this is not an exhaustive list, obviously. If you like any of these ideas, please do try them out and tell us how they went. If you don't like them, then, well, don't use them. What can I
bah
say?
humbug. No. Happy Christmas.
Yeah, happy Christmas. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, share and follow Everything EFL on Instagram, Facebook or Twitter. Also, I'd love to hear from you if you have any comments on this episode, so please get in contact on said social media sites. You can subscribe to the podcast on Spotify, Google Podcasts or Apple Podcasts. Don't forget to tell your colleagues about us. Share the love. Merry Christmas. Bye.
Merry Christmas. Bye.